Everybody, it's your boy Lankway Warrior Kamal, and I am back with another video. And today I am going to be reading from this book right here. My little sister bought me, shout out to her. And the chapter I am going to be reading is it's called Protective Parting. I'm sure you've seen photos of early football players wearing those distinctive leather helmets. We've certainly come a long way since then with football gear. That's for sure. Today, coaches wouldn't send their players out on the football field without protective parts or helmets. Some players are wearing less parting these days, but there are some pieces of equipment no one would go without. The helmet falls into the must-have category, especially with all of the recent concussion incidents that have occurred. The big pieces of equipment seem obvious, but the small ones can make a big difference too. I've learned that mouthpieces can play a huge role in eliminating or mitigating concussions. I believe in the importance of protective gear, but more important than protective sports equipment is the spiritual armor that Paul describes in detail in Ephesians 6 chapter 10 through 18 verses. Armor to prepare us for the spiritual battle we're engaged in each and every day. I have a friend who says he began to believe that spiritual warfare was real after he read Frank Peretti's books. This present darkness and piercing the darkness, these novels written decades ago recount human heroes and villains caught up in a spiritual battle between the angels of heaven and the demons of hell. It's sobering to think that what is depicted is actually going on in our world. The heavens and within us, we are engaged in a monumental battle for our souls, between the forces of good with God and command, and the forces of evil under Satan's power. No wonder we need the full body armor of God, the belt of truth and the body armor of God's righteousness. Verse 14, shoes of peace, verse 15, the shield of faith, verse 16, the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, verse 17. Once outfitted, Paul says to pray, constantly staying alert and persistent. The good news is that in the very end God wins, but we have work to do for him in the meantime.